Guys, today let's talk about how to use developer tools, browser developer tools. For example, on my last interview I was asked to find in a browser specific request that fetches the data about some product. It can be any website, but I will be showing you an example with target.com for simplicity. So first of all the browsers, all the modern browsers have developer tools. Usually it can be called through some menu like more tools, developer tools, or just right context click on any place on the web page, like right mouse button click, or just call a context menu, click on inspect, and developer tools window will be opened. So first of all, it has elements tab open. That's where you see your HTML for your web page. So you see a tree of web elements. You can select some specific one and see all of its attributes. Like this is div that has some specific classes. Inside each it has h2 header, span with some text, and so on. Also you can see dynamic styles applied to this web element, computed styles, just for your understanding, for as an overview. Usually it's not being asked. I will show you, I will go to it in a minute. So layout, not listeners, but anyway, here you can see all the styles and attributes of each web element on the web page. The next one is a console where you can run some JavaScript commands. Usually it's also not being asked, but just for as an overview for your understanding. Sources, usually it's used, I don't use it quite often. I used another one like application when I need to clear some cache on the web page. But the task itself on the interview was to open some product. For example, let's go here and here, click on product. And the task was to filter out and find fetch request that fetches data about this specific product from the server. So this can be done on the network tab. So here you can see all the, let's refresh the page to see everything that's going on in here while the page is loading. So here you can see a bunch of requests, a bunch of data loaded, every image, HTML structure of the web page, SVG images, and so on and so on and so on. So how to find some specific request which returns the data for the specific product? So first of all, you should go to fetch XHR filter, click on it. So it will filter out all not needed static resources fetching. Under fetch you will see mostly on the API calls. And here also you can filter them besides the getting the data. Web page, usually on most of the web page there are some analytics implemented, some other stuff going on, so there might be requests not related to target.com directly. It can send you the data to some analytic tools and stuff like that. So you should understand that you can filter here by your target domain, your target website, since we are using target.com. Here we can apply filter by typing in here. Again, it's on the network tab, and it will filter out all the requests that are not related to target.com. Here you see fetch type, response code for each request. 200 it's okay. If resource not found or any other errors, it will be not 200, will be 400, 404, 500 if it's a server error or something. So here, where to start? How to find the specific product data? So first of all, you can try to filter by the product name. Here, let me remove this one for a moment. So you see nothing is found. It's because it searches only by the request URL itself, but not by the content of response. So in order to try to find something in response, you can try to click here, click Command F or Control F to open another search window. And paste it in here, hit return key or enter key. Now you'll see some more interesting results. So this one looks like it's just HTML by looking at the text, but this one looks more interesting. So it's something calling PDP underscore client underscore v1. So PDP usually stands for product details page. So let's click on this one. It will move us here to the specific one. Then it request. Let's close this one because we have it selected here. Here you can see request URL. This is a API address it was sent to. So API usually consists API request consists of two parts. Request is being sent and the response being received from a server. So this is headers for request. It has request URL, status code, response status code, headers, response headers, and under response tab here you can see the response itself. So you see it's JSON, it's some data in JSON format. So let's copy it, paste it in here. Basically it's JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It's format to transfer data, to exchange data between web pages and servers. Here is just in plain text format, in JSON format, but if you want to format it in order to be able to expand or collapse some sections or areas, you can use something like JSONformatter.io website or any other JSON formatter, and it will allow you to collapse and navigate through the JSON more easily, to collapse some areas, expand some areas. So let's see if this is a request that we needed. Most recent, photos, financial options. I'm trying to find the name of the product and see if there will be, for example, pricing and other attributes of data that we see on the web page. Use Control F, Command F. Oops. I didn't copy it. Copy. Here you can see its title. It looks like a product title, but at least it's one-to-one text that we were looking for. Let's see what else I hear. Some bullets, some soft bullets, blah blah blah, handling. Let's see what goes below it. Product vendors, relationships, parent value. Here is the price section, for example. See current price $19.99. Let's check. $19.99. So basically we can make a conclusion that this is the request that returned from the server fetch request response that returns the data about the product to the front end to your web page. So this is what I was asked to do on my last interview, but the variations of this question might vary. They can ask you to filter something out, like find only API requests. You can try to type API. If something has API in URL, you see api.arkit.com. Copy this one. And basically, in my case, interviewer was really surprised that I was able to show it quickly, because he said that basically a few people that he interviewed before me didn't know even how to filter requests here on the network tab. So this is one of the real questions that being asked on the interviews. So please get familiar with the developer tools. You will be, so they exist in any browser. Functionality is the same always. You can look up elements. You can see what's going on the API level on network, and some more additional stuff like running JS and so on. And if you will be doing test automation, or if you are being interviewed for test automation, you will also might be asked to write some XPath or locator for some specific element of a page. You will also be doing that using developer tools and by sharing your screen. Few more words about HTTP requests. So browser communicates with the server via HTTPS protocol. Basically, it's sending requests and receive responses. There are few HTTP methods or HTTP request types are being used. It's get, post, put, delete. There are a few more other types that these are the most often used. So get is usually used to receive data from the server. It doesn't contain any body, it's just using the URL, just saying, basically browser is saying to the server, please give me this resource. Post request usually used to create data or submit data from the web page to the server side. In this example, it's some call to api.target.com with the payload it's a body of your request that you are sending to a server, not your browser. So there are some data, usually it's being set in JSON format, and you receive response with some message, again in JSON format. With HTTP, in most cases only JSON format is being used. And the most important part is to be able to find and show request method, if it get, post, delete for deleting some data on for removing some data from the server side. So request method, status code, and sometimes you will need headers like content type, application JSON, something like that. So yeah, that's how what are the questions are being asked about developer tools overall. So please get familiar with it. I see it being asked quite often, but not everyone knows how to use it, or not. I think not a lot of courses paying attention to this specific area, like developer tools in a browser. That's it. See you in the next one.